There's not one person in this world who can tell you how to believe in God. Not one. And that's because God relates to each individual differently. Welcome back to another episode of IAM MOOK. I'm your host, Mook. Now, before you all get up in arms and get your pitchforks and your torches and start using words like blasphemous and heathen, I need you to understand IAM MOOK does not believe he is God. I do not believe that I am God. Well, Mook, isn't that what your title says? Yes, it does, but you don't understand what I mean. When you are having a conversation with someone and the conversation touches the realm of religion, politics, philosophy, science, and so forth, instead of drawing conclusions from your own assumptions on what the word means, you should just ask the person, what do you mean? And understand the meaning behind what they say. For instance, I have friends that I can talk to about anything. It doesn't matter their sexual orientation, their political stance, or their views on life. I genuinely like to understand people, and to do that, I need to have genuine conversations, personal conversations. Now, a few years ago, I had a conversation with my friend, and the topic finally led up to God. His first response on the topic was, I don't believe in God. I don't believe God exists. Now, there's no judgment on my part. I didn't look at him any different. I was just given more information about him, and I thought, that's interesting. And as my friend, I wanted to better understand him, so I asked, what do you believe in? He said, I believe in a higher power, a higher cause that caused everything to exist. I believe something is the cause for our existence, and that something is beyond our understanding. In my mind, I'm thinking, bruh, that's God. So now I'm a little perplexed, befuddled, bewildered, confused. He just said he doesn't believe in God, but then he just described God. Then it came to me. We must have different opinions or perspectives on what God means to us. Now we're getting somewhere. I didn't listen to the last few things he said because at that point I was already in my thoughts, trying to understand how he doesn't believe in God, but literally just described an aspect of God to me. I finally got out of my mind and I probably interrupted the shit out of him, but I needed to understand. So I asked him, who or what is God to you? His thoughts was that God is a white man with a beard who sits on a throne judging people. He just couldn't accept that. He couldn't accept that the higher power that created all of existence is a white man who is only focused on the lives of humans. Therefore, God doesn't exist to him. Now, this was fascinating to me. The topic started out with us in opposition on our belief in God, but we ended up agreeing with each other's ideals. Our perspectives were similar, but our understanding of a word was different. Now, let me explain what I am God means to me. For one, I don't believe God's name is God. I grew up in a Christian household. We had the Bible, so I was introduced to our Creator's name being God. I prayed to God. If our Creator's name was introduced to me as, ya boy, I'd be praying to ya boy. The word God is what connected me to the understanding of a higher power. I grew a relationship with the creator of existence, attaching the word God to it. And as I've gotten older, my definition of God has changed. And it changed after learning the story of Moses. For those that already know or don't know, Moses was a prophet in the Bible who was asked by God to free his people from Egypt under the Pharaoh's rule. Moses was like, bet, I'll do that, but who do I tell them sent me? Basically, he asked God, what's your name? God's response was, I am that I am, or I am what I am, depending on whatever version of Bible you got. Tell them I am sent you. This is one of the coldest quotes that I read in the Bible, dog. God told Moses, I am, nigga. Well, he didn't say nigga, but that's what I read. He said, I am, meaning there is no word that can describe me, which is infinite. I am beyond words. I am beyond limitations. I just am. I am. And in that moment, my mind, my soul, my spirit, my energy accepted that answer. I am. That's who God is to me. I say God because we as beings are experiencing reality through the perspective of a human, and we use words to convey humanistic ideas. God is a word that most people are aware of and the word that I grew up using, so I say God. But God knows that I mean I am. So why did I write I am God? Sometimes you just need to double down on the word to add emphasis. For example, you're riding around with your friend and then he looks at you and says, bro, I'm hungry. I'm like, yeah, man, I'm hungry too. No, I'm hungry. It hits a little different. Or if you're in school and you talking to your friend, hey man, you know that girl in third period? Man, I think she likes you. And you're like, yeah, man, I like her. She's cool. No, she likes you. It hits a little different. Doubling down adds emphasis. It means something different. So when y'all are talking about God, I'm talking about God. There are no words to describe me, God. I have no limitations, God. I just am God. The I am God. And that's one of the reasons that I put I am Mook as my name. Not to say that God Mook or anything like that, but I wanted to show some respect and say that I am comes before Mook. God to me, I am, has infinite knowledge. Mook essentially means ignorance. And ignorance isn't really a bad thing. Ignorance just means you lack knowledge. You can be probably the smartest person in the world, but if you don't know something or you lack information, you lack knowledge, therefore you're a Mook. I see people as Mooks. So I am Mook is me telling you that's who I am. I'm Mook. But I am Mook is God before Mook. I am Mook is infinite knowledge before ignorance. Welcome to the I Am Mook Podcast, y'all. Do we understand each other now? I'll talk to you Mooks in the next episode.